Upworthy Nerdigans, this is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans Inc. And well, the final live stream for part 2 that we're going to be doing here is going to be talking about the conclusion of the separation, aka episodes 11 through 13, because I didn't cover chapter 11 last week, and or episode 11 last week, and aka episodes 23 through 26. But before I get into this, let me just remind you to hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored. If you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my Shinigami kitty was passed out at the moment, and this operation alive and kicking, so we could keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, live reactions, or live streams like this one, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below. So, the conclusion, I would say, for the separation, would I say it's better than Cour 1? Yeah, because we got some really, really good stuff up in here. There was content skip, mind you, but the filler that we got, though, it was so good. Yes. Now let's talk about the main thing here, which is the Squad Zero fight that we had, the filler Squad Zero fight. And I am still, and because in episode 23 slash 11, Tenjiro's fight was skipped. I am still annoyed by that because that was like the introduction into Squad Zero. It was so, or into the Squad Zero fight. Yeah. I know. He got taken out really easily, but it was, at least for me, I liked how it was in the manga because, it better introduced, the final Sturmritter of the Guard that we were going to get before heading into the to the next stage of the of this arc. But the rest of the Squad Zero content, for the most part, it was really, really good. I have basically almost no issues with it, minus, of course, the art and animation could have been better in episode 23. But episodes 24 or not 23. Why do I say 23? It's 24. Duh. God. Episodes for 25 and 26. Oh, that art and animation was great. Stiff at times, yes, especially in the beginning of the episode for, I think it was episode 25 where I had the huge problem. Yeah, 25, it was a little bit stiff, but man, that Hashawal fight was so worth it. Oh my God, the Hashawal fight. Oh my God. At least my boy, at least Jinchiro did get a good fight against Hashawal. I would say that out of all the ones that we saw, the Jinchiro Hashawal fight was probably the best of the filler fights. Oh God, yes, it was. For sure. But in terms of let's start off here to make this easier. Let's start off here, especially with Ichibe's content. In episode 20, keep saying 23, it was 24. In episode 24, when or at the start of episode 24, what I really liked about the filler content there was that it expanded a little bit more about Ichibe and Bach's history, because that was something that was not in the manga. Let me make sure I have it here. But yeah, it took place over 1,000 years ago when Ichibe personally traveled to the human world to negotiate a truce with Bach's Litreich. There we go. And proposing that the Litreich would be allowed to unify the Quincy race in peace if they agreed to let the Shinigami maintain the balance between worlds without interference. And well, Bach obviously refused to do that. Let's see, wanting to refuse to due to wanting to disrupt the balance so that he could create a world without death, which is not a good idea. I understand where he's coming from, but it's not a good idea. God complex of it all. Um, oh, then we get to the attacks with the Almighty and Ichibe's Soul King arm. Oh my God, that freaking attack from the Soul King's left arm that Ichibe did. Oh my God, how it was animated, the color palette and everything like that. It fits so beautifully, and I'm hoping we're gonna get more of that in Core 3. Before I forget. But the only thing I'm not sure about in regards to if it was the right thing to do or not in regards to Bach is I kind of wish they would have kept like the secret of the Soul King being Bach's father until like the next core, and have that portion of the flashback at the beginning of Core 3, or yeah, it'd be Core 3, beginning of Core 3, and then get the reveal that the Soul King is his father, like, or maybe we'll even get more backstory in regards to that too. Oh God, if next core, if we see the relationship between Bach and the Soul King explored, oh, that would be amazing. Oh, I hope that happens. But anyways, so where we're really getting to here, and this is the start of episode 24 in particular, because I will say this about episode 25, I mean. What I will say about episode 24, though, is for the most part, everything was there. There was only the Tenjiro content that was skipped. Other than that, everything was there. The art and animation was hit or miss at some points. The one I would say I was the most disappointed about in terms of art and animation, though, is oh my God, is Weisel's. Weisel's art and animation could have been so much better, and it frustrates me that these character designs, man, sometimes they're like spot on, and sometimes it's just like off by not by much, and it's very, very annoying. But I will say this though, Weisel's character design looked way better than Valkyrie's. Oh my God, I'm so mad with Valkyrie's design. I hated it so much in episode 24 when we first saw him. Oh my God, it was just bad. Like, and I said this in my live reaction for episode 24, that I love, he's like one of my top 5 Sturmritters. He is. And I love the macho Sturmritters. Like Master Masculine and Valkyrie, and those two in particular, as well as Giselle. Obviously, I was looking forward to like Giselle and Basby, and I'll get to Basby in a minute because I'm kind of frustrated with one thing about Basby not shown in this finale, or just a little bit more in general in this core. Maybe we'll get it next core. Is that I didn't get my macho-ness from Valkyrie, especially in the face. It wasn't there. It just really annoyed the hell out of me. I know production is a problem. There's been production issues and crunch time, and I'm based on what the trailer said for Core 3. If Core 3 is coming out in 2024, it better be like in fall. Like, they need as much time as possible to get Core 3 done, especially for certain scenes, which we will get to. But anyways, but the other Sturmritter though that were there, let me make sure I have this in front of me here. That in regards to Pernita, I kind of, the only thing I'm a little iffy on Pernita is I really wish that the indentation, or like this, not indentation, the silhouette for the fingers for Pernita was there in the design. To foreshadow what we're going to be getting. I think it's going to be next core where we get Pernita versus Mayuri. Oh God, that fight better be that art animation we saw for like the left hand, or not left hand, left arm of the Soul King. Oh, give me that with the combination of Asnod, and that's what I want for the Pernita versus Mayuri content. Oh my God, that would be amazing if it goes down the way I want it in my head. But Pernita minus, you know, the silhouettes for the fingertips, I didn't have that much problem with Pernita. Pernita design. Borrow, my only issue with his design is I wish for like the fur that he's rocking, I wish it had a little bit more texture. But other than that, Borrow looked really good, and his sniper rifle, oh, especially in episodes 25 and 26. Oh, it was so good, so good, so good, so good, so good. I'm so and also their Volstangs. Ooh, the Volstangs. Okay, the Volstang for Valkyrie, my only problem with it, because in the manga, by the way, for those of you that don't remember, for the Volstangs, they were just in the colored edition. They were just like pure white angel wings with a lot of texture on them. The only one that I really had a problem with, and it's mainly proportion wise, is with Valkyrie. I wish the wings were bigger and fuller. That's my only issue, because with Valkyrie, obviously, it's Norse. If you and like from I would have loved to see like a combination of like Thor meets Valkyrie. That's what I wanted for Gerard up in here. If we had that, I would have been stoked. Now for Barrow's Volsting, I loved how military it looked. It was just so perfect, and that shade of green was chef's kiss. It was beautiful. Um, would I have liked it to be a little bit more fuller, maybe, or a little bit bigger? In terms of proportions, it's not as bad as proportion wise. It's not as bad as say like Gerard's. But if the wingspan were a little bit bigger, I think I would have been happier with it. But like the overall design change for Barrow's Volstang, I'm pretty pleased with it. Then there's Askin. Askin, your Volstang was not looking good, my dude. The proportions were really, really off. And oh boy, oh god, I will get to Askin in a minute. I will, because oh boy, do I have things to say about particular part of the content that was skipped. But where the finale started at was on page roughly around page 15 of chapter 604. And for the most part, it looked good. I kind of wish we did get it at times, but this is just a general nitpick I have with Thousand Year Blood War, is I wish they were utilizing the backgrounds more and giving us more shading. And in some cases, more line work too. But here, this really needed, especially when Ichibei said, and I fucking hate the Viz line for this. I hope it was only Viz that did this and not the Japanese broadcast, Amazon Prime Asia, and Netflix Asia. I hope it wasn't them that did this. But it was in the colored edition. It's Ichibei says, oh, God, I wish that background was in the freaking anime, which is don't come crying to me when your throat gets crushed. In Viz, they were saying, Ichibei was saying, don't cry to me when your life, or not, when your voice is stolen. It's not as intimidating as throat gets crushed. And also, Ichibei looked like a badass mofo when he says it. Let's see what the next part is here. Oh, with Bach in general, I've been having a problem with Bach's design since part 1. I still have a problem with it. And this is what I mean by line work and shading. It's mainly from like the nose up where I'm having an issue, where there's not enough. Doesn't have enough line work for the wrinkles under his face to give him that aged look. And what was the other thing? And the mustache could look obviously better. But like without those wrinkles, without that shading, without that line work, it looked like Bach got a facelift. It just looks wrong. The hairline is okay for the most part, but God, that mustache though, it should be fuller. That's my only gripe about that. And then I think we jump back after the opening. We had the I know we had a little bit of the filler content where we had more of the Bach Ichibei content. And then we had like the filler content with setting up the Sternrider's fight against Squad Zero. Okay, this was my issue with this, okay? It really felt like the episode was disjointed because of this portion of the storyboarding. Now, if this is what I think would have been the best way to do it. You start off with beginning of the episode, episode 25. You have the Ishida, Hoshwald, and facing off against Squad Zero. You'd have that content first, then the bot content and Ichibei content. Then obviously I still don't understand why the opening song here, but whatever. And then transition back into the fight between Bach and Ichibei, and then at a certain point transition into the rest of the Squad Zero content. But like part of me is thinking, because remember, the order of events was changed, especially when it comes to the to Bach using the Ashwan. Because Bach doesn't use the Ashwan during his fight with Ichibei. It's before he even gets to Ichibei that he uses the Ashwan ability. Part of me feels like we should have had, before even I feel like we could have still had Bach use the Ashwan before confronting Ichibei, and that way we could have come out of the opening song with like Giselle and them, Giselle and Lyoto, but that's what Lyoto. There we go. But I guess it is what it is. But man, this fight against Bach though. This was like the next portion of it is, oh trust me, we're gonna come back to you, Ikitake. We will come back to you because order of events went out. It's out of order. The next portion of it was on page 5 of chapter 605. Oh man, it's just. Ichibei's design, for the most part, I've not that many issues with. It's just certain scenes where it's like it could have given like a more given more contrast to like his his sweet like demeanor at first, his gentle demeanor at first, but then when Bach fucks with him in the manga, you see like shading on his face, and right before like Ichibei unleashes his Shinkai, then. Or Shinkai for like, I think it was the second time. Yeah, the second time it gets the shading gets darker, and then when Ichibei declares that he's going to kill Bach, that's when it gets like the darkest in the shading. And it didn't have that in the anime. We did get like the right shading for when Ichibei threatened to kill Bach. Yeah, we did, but I really wish it would. When he was saying, or when he was threatening Bach with that he's going to crush his throat for the second time, there was like no shading. It was all light, and it drove me freaking crazy. I was not happy with that. Let's see. Oh God, the way that the seals were done. Oh my God, just how Ichibei's Shinkai was animated, and or not Shinkai, yeah, Shinkai, but his Zanbakuto was executed. Ichimonji, how Ichimonji was animated was so beautiful. It was practically perfection. I loved the paint, the different paint strokes. Oh God, in the how especially it was done for the calligraphy. Oh, it was gorgeous. And then the other thing I really liked was the arm when Ichibei where is it? Used the Futen Taitsurio. Oh my God, I can't fucking talk. Futen Taitsurio, and we saw the hand come out, or like an arm come out of the portal. I like that it went from like that black and white negative contrast, and it went into like the flesh tones. Because in the manga, it's only just like a straight up human arm with there wasn't any hair on it in the anime, which kind of bugged me. But that oh, that ethereal glow from it too. Cause yeah, it's Fox, it's Fox arm. But yeah, the ethereal glow to it was great. I just wish it was just a little bit wider and that there was some hair on it. But it's a minor thing. I know. It is. Let me see. Yeah, the hand just needed to be a little bit bigger and have a little bit more line work up in there. But when Bach was falling back, though, off the Soul Palace, the side of the Soul Palace, he was a little bit stiff for my liking. Damn it, stupid thing. Was too stiff for my liking, and I wish he would have like bent forward just a little bit. But yeah. Oh, I almost forgot to mention how the episode like started at the beginning of it was instead of like having the Squad Zero content, we had the visors and oh my god, it's gonna really piss me off if I can't remember their name right now. Yeah, Yorichi's brother or younger brother there. God damn, this is gonna really frustrate me. I should have had this in front of. I can't believe I almost forgot about you. Dear. It was yeah, Yushiro. There we go. Yushiro was there. Yushiro's voice acting was great, and I feel so bad that his introduction is so sad with the blue, but it totally fits his mood. But the visor, I was kind of annoyed by the designs for the visor. Hiyori was fine, and I would say, well, Love was okay minus the sunglasses. Lisa, I think it was because it was zoomed out, it looked kind of weird. I think it's Hachimonji that I'm thinking of. Yeah, Hachimonji looked okay. It was just minor things that I had an issue with design wise, and yeah, they did look stiff. And same with Urahara himself, because Urahara, his neck is supposed to be forward a little bit more. It's supposed to be a little bit hunched over. It wasn't, so it kind of made him look a little stiff. But other than that, I know it's nitpicking, but goddamn, I have to mention it. Let me make sure I mention the right visor here. Oh, it's not Hachimonji, it's Hachiken. There we go. That's what I meant. It was Hachiken. And then what was the other thing that I needed to? I think that was the main thing that I forgot about was that. Yes. Okay. Then, okay, I do want to mention this before we continue with the Bach fight. Something that really irritated me, and this has been irritating me this Cour in particular, because something I wanted to see, we did get it with Byakuya, mind you, but I would have liked to seen it with Renji as well. First of all, the Renji versus Nana fight was completely skipped. What I wanted to see was a little bit more of the Renji versus Basby content. I would have liked to see that fight expanded a little bit more. You didn't have to expand it for maybe like 5 minutes or something, but I would have liked to seen that fight expand, extended / expanded on. I would have liked to seen that, especially since Renji hasn't had as much screen time as he should have. Renji's not even my favorite character. But the Giselle content though, the Giselle content was so good, especially with the glowing blue eyes, as he was getting his blood back from Bambi. Oh god, it was so good. But this part though, this was in 603 where it was skipped, not 604. Right? Yeah, here it is. This is what was skipped from 603 that I have to mention, and it's Robert's line. Right before the Ashwan hit them, which was this. Oh, and he had a gun pointed at Leota's head too. That was skipped too. I say Leota's head too. Here we go. This is what she said here. This is on page 10 of chapter 603 for those that are curious. What's the big idea, Akitron? Did you know His Majesty has already moved up on moved on up above. I asked you what you're playing at. He did not deign to take us along with him. Well, yeah, what about it? We can just keep fighting here till he gets back, right? Do you not see? Do you not see it's all over for us? We have been judged to be unnecessary in the battles to come. Yeah, I know we get to see Hashawat say it instead, but I would have liked to see Robert say it too. What are you saying? I would not, especially this part here, I would not expect newcomers like yourselves to understand, to know how terrifying His Majesty can be. The Sternritter exists for His Majesty's sake. His Majesty does not care for lies. There can be no doubt in our purpose. Those Sternritter deemed to be unnecessary will become fuel for His Majesty's Ashwaulan. Like, I would have loved to see, especially this part here, when Ashwaulan hits Robert and he like turns into a skeleton. I wanted to see that animated, and it's like, no, didn't get it. Nah, I know Hashwat said Robert's content. I know he did, but still, I wouldn't have minded having both, but especially from Robert, because Robert is one of the older, one of the more veteran members of the Sternritter. So that kind of frustrated me. I like the other shots that we did get too of the other. Speaking of the other Bambis, like Candace, before their power was taken away. But let me see, is there anything else from here? From 603 I do, yeah, how this was executed for when the Ashwan kicked in, and how obviously everyone revived. That was beautiful. Oh, I was happy with it. The Ashwan in itself was gorgeous. Hell, I think it was the attack against God, what's the attack's name? It's gonna drive me freaking crazy. You're right. Yeah, here it is. The Saint Bogan. That Saint Bogan. Oh my god, that was so gorgeous. I was so happy with it. But there's something else here that was skipped in regards to his, this is relating to Bach's name getting stolen. I think it's here, or is it in 606? I think it's in 606. But God, yeah, I think, yeah, it's in 606. And by the way, that's where the other content that I mentioned with the visor is in 606. Here we go. This is, yeah, this part. Here we go. This is like at chapter 606. This is after Ichibei says, by the leader of your hated Shinigami at only half your strength. Bach's lines were cut. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I remember. I saw this was cut. How does it feel? Do I appear to be in such a bad condition? That part was there. There was one part other part at 607 that was skipped that really, really pissed me off. Oh, here it is. How does it feel? Do I appear to be doing badly? Squad Zero rules over the Shinigami. Its leader cut my power in half out of fear for it. Could there be any better feeling? Why would you cut that? Ah! Oh, I don't like that was cut. And then I think this part was here. The unfortunately for you, I can restore unto myself the half of half of my power. No, this part wasn't there. It wasn't. Unfortunately for you, I can restore unto myself the half of my power which you stripped from me. Yeah, that part was skipped, because what it did was, in terms of this portion of the fight, it just went straight into if you cannot comprehend, then I shall enlighten you. Not that part. This part. No person can take that take from me that which is mine. That's where it was. I'm really annoyed that we didn't get Bach's cockiness here. I know they wanted to focus on, obviously, a good chunk of the fight with Ichibei versus Bach, but they also wanted to primarily focus on the Zero Division, which I don't mind, but at least have Bach's cocky taunts up in here. Oh, hi, Andre. Where are we at in the episodes? I'm looking at the manga right now, so it's I think 60 or 607 was adapted. I believe was in episode 25. Hold on. Yeah, it was in episode 25 because the majority of episode 26 was filler. There we go. Hi, kitties. Hi, Zena. What are you doing? Um. Damn it, kitty, you're knocking stuff over. Yeah, the other three members of Squad Zero are supposed to be just as strong. I kind of wish we would have seen their Bankais too, but I guess we're not going to get it, which really sucks. Well, at least for now, anyway. Let's see. I think that was the main. Those were the main things that were skipped, right? Ooh, I think they're gonna keep this part for, or when Ichibei says that if you were to be obliterated at your full strength, then you lose all your eminence among the Quincy. I think that's gonna be in, yeah, that's gonna be in Cour 3. If it wasn't here, like I don't think it was. No, the blue blood Veni was there. That was. Oh, the Tebusatsu. Oh, the Tebusatsu looks so good. Oh God, Ichibei Shinkai was looking really, really sick. Say hi, Kitty. Say hi. But man, there was one. Oh God, that Tebusatsu was so sick. There was one problem I had here. I kind of do like that addition that Ichibei's beard turned white for a minute before he turned the power back on Bach. I thought that was kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. But then there's the Ichimonji itself. Oh, the Ichimonji was so freaking sick. Oh my god. Oh god, we'll get to Squad Zero in a second, but this part was skipped, and this bothered me. I don't know why inner monologues keep getting skipped. It's really annoying. The brush became a blade. It's quite thick, but I don't sense anything resembling Ryatsu. And this part was too. What? Just now for a moment. Yeah, and then Ichibei went back to taunting him about if it's a braid or if it's a blade or a brush. But oh man, Ichibei's, I think I would say Ichibei's attacks look the best compared to, even though Bach's attacks look good too. But Ichibei's attacks were just so, it was executed so beautifully. Oh my god, it was. Let's see. Yeah, we had the sword that's no name. That part was there. And the nameless cross. Yeah, that was so fire. Wait, did we have the same Delta again here in the episode? I don't think we did. Or no, we did get it. That's right. We did get it because of the power. Then we got the powers black. Oh, yeah. When he take, oh God. I agree. Andre, I agree with you on this. Oetsu's fight against Otto was, it drove me freaking nuts. Let me make sure I have it. Or not Otto. Why did I say Otto? I got mixed up with Otto for a second. With Barrow. Damn it. With Barrow, that one. Here's the thing with Oetsu, okay? My boy Oetsu was done dirty because with Pepe had an R&B track, it fit his shtick and everything. Oetsu, I was hoping we were going to get some rap, some hip hop. Like you could have done a mixture of like rap and like Japanese rap and orchestral music. That would have been sick. or like a mixture of Japanese and and rock. You could have done some really cool shit with it. But no, we didn't get that. It really bugs me. I feel like my boy was robbed. Uetsu was really stiff. Yeah, Uetsu should be the best in sword playing. We didn't see it per se. Yeah, I don't think we saw it. We saw it in episode 24, but like in 25 and 26, it didn't look as good as it should, and it drove me freaking wild. But by the way, where that's at is in chapter 602, I believe, right? No, it wasn't 604. Yeah, it was 604 where this happened, where we got that content. We did get a little bit of stuff, I think, from 601, I believe. Yeah, it started back in 601. We had a little bit of that, and it was where is it specifically in 601? Shit, I have it, because that was in episode 24, which that's where most of 601 was adapted. But here it is. This is the part, the asking content, which starts on page 18 of chapter 601. Oh God. Then there's 602. This part was skipped, and I'm so annoyed that it was skipped. I wouldn't mind them cutting the filler just for this. Again, this is why I'm kind of annoyed that they had the opening and ending song here. Was the stuff for lethal dose. I'm going to read this here. When a living organism consumes more than a certain quantity of a given substance, that organism will die. This quantity is called the lethal dose. It is impossible to give an absolute measurement for the lethal dose for a substance, as it varies for each organism beyond their stage of development, the method of consumption, and even the time of consumption. As such, the measurement commonly used is the median lethal dose, the dose which will cause half of a given test population to die. You could have done some really cool art and animation for this. But there's this part too before I forget. This median lethal dose is 0.01 milligrams for tetrodotoxin, the poison found in pufferfish, 0.1 milligrams for aconitine, the poison found in wolfsbane flowers, 1 to 7 milligrams for nicotine, 200 milligrams for caffeine, and 12,000 milligrams for vitamin C. Instead, it just jumped to asking, saying my shrift is D and my ability is the death dealing. Just annoyed. Like, where they could have put in that line in particular was where is it? Where are you? It was in regards to when Uetsu was talking about like draining his blood. Yeah, here, this part too, especially. You could have put it right here. Like right now, I'm lowering the lethal dose of the blood in your body. That blood that is flowing through your veins and keeping you alive will bring you closer and closer to the death the more of it you possess. You could have put the lethal dose stuff up there. Or you could have put it here when, where is this? Where is this fucking line in particular? I think yeah, here. It's right here when after this is when Uetsu was draining the blood from his body. You could have put it here. Well, a body contains about 25.7 milliliters of blood for each kilogram of weight. Yeah, you could have put it here, but I feel like they would have if the stuff about the lethal dose was like a little bit before, I think it would have worked better. But God, there was no reason to skip that. Or 13 episodes per season. We should have gotten 20. We should have gotten 24. Well, we're getting 52, but total. But the team definitely needs breaks in between each core for sure. God, this core, to be fair, I will say this core is definitely better than the first core, especially in terms of art and animation. Oh my God, it's so much better. and especially movement to boot. But there's still problems here, like with the anatomical art, or because we didn't get it for when Mayuri was fighting Hitsugaya. And that's where there was, you know, an actual brain up in the manga. Here, I would have loved to seen like how, you know, when Askin is describing about like the body contains, you know, 25.7 milliliters of blood. I would have loved to seen like the actual blood in Uetsu's veins, and how the lethal dose travels through the body, and then like after like a certain point, like a little over 4 liters, and have this reverse contrast, a beautiful reverse contrast panel of Askin like appear like in front of it. Oh, that would have been sick. But yeah, the pacing wasn't the best in this Cour. For certain parts of the Cour, the pacing just wasn't working. It was way too fast. Right, Kitty? Right, Kitty? I'm just sad that we didn't get like some of the fights that I wanted to see extended. We didn't get extended, but at least Squad Zero got their stuff extended. Senjumaru's Bankai, though, oh, that Bankai was everything. Oh my god, that Bankai was beautiful. There you could see kitties looking like little bubbas. It's Cour, like the well, I say the Senjumaru fight and or oh god, what did I say that one? No, the Senjumaru fight and Uryu fight. That fight was okay. It just wasn't as good as that Hashwell fight. Then the one with where is it? There was the one against Perdita that I need to make sure I include, because that will drive me freaking nuts. Where are you? Here it is. There it is. Hikifune versus Perdita. That fight was a little too short for me, but I'm really curious what you guys think about these fights in particular. And do you kind of wish that they would have just done like a little bit of the Bakken Ichibei content and then just focus the rest of it on Squad Zero? What do you think, kitties? Oh, kitties, like, I want to fight. I want to fight Quincy. Oh, I love my kitty. He's such a good boy. He's such a spoiled cat. My cat is a spoiled kitty. They keep calling you Chunky. You ain't being the Chunky allegations, cat. Oh, kitty. Oh. Yeah, I think it would have been just better to like have Ichibei versus versus Bach at the start of Cour 3. Oh, for sure. And then of course we had the oh god, that conclusion. Oh, the ending with the con content. That for me, I'm not sorry for saying it. That was the best part of the year. Besides obviously the fights and stuff like that, the con content though, to include like all the comedy that was skipped, or not all of it, but a good chunk of it that was skipped. And I love that Con said that yeah, this is getting a little too serious. We need more of this. I was like, thank you. I need more of the comedy. I think I have to wonder if Con represented Kubo in that regard. Yeah, I know the placement kind of sucked in regards to Con's placement. That's why I'm like, I didn't understand why would you even have the ending song or the opening song in episodes 25 and 26. It made no fucking sense. I really want more comedy, especially for when we get to the Eisen content. Ooh. Oh God, because I've heard rumors that the third core is going to be so serious and emotional. So I'm like, no, no, don't do that. But the content at the end of the episode, it's like, yeah, I think the production team hurt us. Because that really made my life when we had that content. Because that's what a lot of people in the Bleach fandom have been saying is that, yeah, we love that we're getting this stuff adapted, but yeah, yeah, I agree that the episode screamed rushed passing and production issues. Yeah, I agree with that. That's what I thought too. I was like, when I was watching, I was like, something just seemed off. But yeah, I feel like a lot of it had to do with production, and some of it, from what I understand, had a lot to do with the maybe I think it might have had to do with the Japanese broadcast regulations. It was, to be fair, it was rated M this episode because of the Giselle and Bambi content, but it's like, dude, if you got it rated, if you had a mature rating for this episode because of the Giselle Bambi content, why couldn't we have the rest of them be rated M? Like, seriously, this makes no sense. I don't understand what they're thinking making by not making Bleach Thousand Year Blood War rated M, especially when it's in the late night time slot. Like, this core period should have been rated M. And there could have been episodes in Core 1, especially with the lewd jokes. You could have maybe raised the rating to M or something. But for this core, which is really brutal, why would you not have it raised, the rating to M? And that way Kubo could have gotten his Orihime content that he wanted. I'm still annoyed we didn't get that content. I got a feeling it's going to be in the Blu-ray though, because Kubo was pissed. And the people that some of the Bleach fans piss me off because they're just like, well, we don't need that comedy, and I hated this, and blah blah blah. But that's what makes it Bleach, though. Why are you reading Bleach? Seriously, why are you reading Bleach if you're gonna just get all pissy about the raunchy comedy? I'm so glad. That's why I'm glad that we have that extra content though to show the skip scenes, even though it wasn't executed the way I would have loved to seen it and in the right placement. At least the production team. And I feel like Kubo was the one that kind of pushed them to do it too. I would not be surprised if it was Kubo. The production team. Why not have these lewd jokes? We need more of them. That's why I'm like, yeah, Khan's got to represent Kubo in that regard, and I'm totally okay with it. But yeah, the Core 3 is coming out. Oh yeah, I agree. Respect all the artists who made it good and as good as they could with the limitations they had. Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel bad for them that they are having this amount of crunch time, and it's weird. They're giving like all this leeway to Naruto, but not Bleach. Like, why? I understand Naruto. It is, it's an anniversary thing, but still, it's like, dude, Studio Period, what are you doing? They need more. Obviously the animators need more time. I'm really annoyed that people were sending them death threats. That was kind of fucked up, and they were harassing the production team. I agree. What Andre says here, these execs just screw artists over. They do. My Aniplex insider can attest to that. That it is the higher ups that are fucking everybody over. Oh, for sure, it is the higher ups that are doing it. And keep in mind, this is what I've been told. My Aniplex insider is that around COVID, they were getting an increased budget, production budget. So, and he's like, I don't even know where the money is going at times. So, yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It is. I feel so bad for the actual production teams. And oh, look at Dragon Ball Superhero. Look what happened there as well, where they literally put the production team through, Toei put the production team through hell for that shit. And it would have been cheaper just to do hand-drawn animation, really sucks. So you could have had hand-drawn animation for Dragon Ball Superhero. But at least we're getting in the manga, but that's a whole different thing. But I think for Cour 3, we're gonna see we gotta see Ichibe's Bankai in Cour 3. If we do not, there will be shenanigans. People will be furious if we do not see Ichibe's Bankai in Cour 3. Because we got the Shinkai. We did not get the Bankai. But yeah, that Bankai's gotta be in Cour 3. No question. And the art, that art and animation for it better be freaking gorgeous. I want it. Oh God. Ah. But speaking of Bankai, Shinjimaru. Oh wait a minute. I say Shin. Senjimaru's Bankai was gorgeous. Oh my God. I'm kind of annoyed because I really wish Shinji's Bankai was as pretty. I wanted more from Shinji's Bankai, but goddamn, Senjimaru's Bankai was beautiful. I hope this kind of art, maybe even better art quality. We're gonna see that for Ichibe's Bankai, and people are speculating that probably in Cour 4 we'll get Aizen's Bankai. Oh my God, if we get Aizen's Bankai in Cour 4, I will die. I need that in my life so bad. But in terms of the conclusion for this Cour, the cliffhanger, I kind of wish they would have had the cliffhanger be with or they had the episode end, prior to the content, obviously, more with Ichibe and box content instead. But it is what it is. But of course, we got to talk about the content from chapter 605 here with Ukitake. Dude, I'm so hyped for Ukitake's content. I think it's going to be a next Cour. Better be a next Cour. Oh my God. But the Kamikake though, oh, that Kamikake looks so beautiful. I hope that kind of animation is going to be used for when Bot gets the Almighty. Oh my God, can you imagine if we got that kind of animation, like that beautiful animation that we saw for Ichibe Shinkai and here for the Kamikake? Oh, if we got that. I hope we get more of that in Cour 3. But if we get that for the Almighty, for when Bach gets the Almighty back, oh, I will live. That needs to happen. It needs to happen. And also, we're gonna obviously we're gonna get this kind of art and animation for when Ukitake uses the Kamikake. Oh my God, I need more of that brush style of art and animation. I do. Again, especially for when we get to Perdita and I keep saying Perdita, it's Pernita. When we get to Pernita versus Mayuri, that's where it needs to really be. Oh God, that fight is going to be so sick. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to that fight. Then of course for the trailer for Cour 3. Well, before I forget that, I do want to mention this with Kiyoraku's line because it was weird in the Viz translation. Because what Kiyoraku says in the manga, he said that he's taking a little trip to Central 46. In the Viz version, it said that Kiyohara was going to grab a drink. I was like, what the fuck? Why would you put that there? I'm hoping that was only just Viz being stupid and not just in general. But God, having the episode conclude with I'm taking a little trip to the Central 46. Oh, that would have been nice. But then we got Cour 3. So we ended Cour 2 roughly around, well, obviously we had 605 because of the Ukitake content, but I think we were at 60. No, we did adapt a little bit of 608. Oh God, that Ichimonji was just sick. Yeah, where did it end for the adaptation that I remember? Um, no, I think we had even had a little bit of 609, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we had 609. I almost forgot about you, this chapter for a second there. We had the Shirafude, we had the Shinichi Shirafude Ichimonji. That was, oh, how that was executed. Oh, it was perfection. God, I really hope we get more of this like calligraphy style of the hand brush calligraphy kind of style of art and animation next core. Oh, we need to. We need to. We need to. We need to. But yeah, this right here. Uh, technically he said Ichibei did say that this was a bankai, but I don't know. I feel like there's going to be more of this. There's going to be something else. God, oh, I forgot about that leg. Yeah, that leg did not look good, or that foot, excuse me. That foot did not look good in the anime because, you know, it wasn't wide enough and there was not any hair on it. And I did like the glow, though. That was great. Because remember, this is supposed to be Ichibei's hands and feet that are doing this, too. Ooh. Yeah, so the Almighty, yeah, this is going to be the start. Yeah, the start of Core 4 is probably going to be at the start of, or it's going to be at the page 7 of chapter 609. I kind of hope they like do a little bit of it where maybe like even page 5 ish, maybe page 5 or 6 ish. Yeah, especially when Ichibei says, I bid farewell. But yeah, this is where I think it should start. Yeah, I do too. Oh yeah, we got Barrow's fight. Yeah, Barrow comes back later, like way later. I think Barrow comes back in what? Like he'll be back in like either later in Core 3 or in Core 4 or at the start of Core 4, something like that. Oh, I think where we're gonna get the Sakuga, and again, this is why I want this like brushstroke art and animation. It's going to be when Bach, and this is going to be at the start of the episode for the first episode of Core 3. We're going to see the paint art and animation that we saw here, and we're going to see it like go over Bach's face and give us the Almighty. Oh, it'll be gorgeous. Oh God, I can't wait. I can't wait for them to do that. But yeah, I think it's going to be like near the end of 609 going into 610. But I'm looking at 610 here with Hashwall stuff. I kind of wouldn't mind if the Hashwall content at chapter 610 talks a little bit more about the Almighty. If we get that at the beginning of Core 3, I would not be mad either to explain the Almighty. And it actually would make sense too, because remember at the start of episode 24 was when when the Almighty was sealed by Ichibei. So having Hashwalt's narration, you don't have to have the image of Hashwalt specifically, but just to have at least the narration there, oh, that would be nice. Oh, I don't for the Hell Arc. I don't know if we're even gonna get the Hell Arc, to be honest, because he's busy doing. We still got Burn the Witch season 2. The art for Burn the Witch season 2 manga, and then he still. I think after we'll see what happens after the Bleach anime is done. If he wants to Oh God, I would really love him to go the route of like Mashima with with 100 Years Quest, or Toriyama with Dragon Ball Super, and what was the other one? And Kishimoto with Boruto. Like, I would like to see him go that route for the Hell arc if we get a manga version. If Kubo's already done with season 2 of A Burn the Witch, in terms of like the art and stuff like that, then yeah, then he could theoretically do the Hell arc. But I think the reason why he's going to hold off on it is because he wants to make sure like the anime continuity and whatnot fits in with the Hell arc. It's kind of like, best way to explain this actually in terms of comparing it is look at how One Punch Man is being done, where in the manga we're getting more foreshadowing on what's going on in the current arc, or what's going to happen in the current arc of the web comic, with the Blast arc. And that's why the manga has taken so long to get to like the Sweet Mask content, for example, or the Flashy Flash arc and the Sweet Mask content, because one is working with oh my god, shit, Murata. One's working with Murata to get everything set up for each character's arc. Like, we got the stuff for Flashy Flash, I think, is going to get set up next, I believe. But we have the stuff pretty much set up for Sweet Mask. I just want that webby content up in there. But yeah, I think he wants to. This is what I'm guessing, is that he wants to do something like what One's doing with One Punch Man. And yes, the webcomic is still going, but I think One is just more focused on getting everything set up for the fight, especially the fight that we're getting in the webcomic soon. Ooh, yeah. So that's what I think is happening. Is Kubo is well, actually, technically, One is not the architect for mangaka who plan a lot of things beforehand. Nah, Oda does it too. Actually, Oda's been planning One Piece, how to handle One Piece for a minute, especially in the case of anything bad happening to him. Like, he's prepared for it. But yeah, Oda, I think, is like the architect for like a mangaka that's preparing for like the worst. And One, I would say, is the architect for planning a lot of things, beforehand to like add on to the web comic. That's what this whole thing is making me think of, or I think of off the top of my head, in regards to the Hell arc, if it happens. And if it does happen, then I think it would probably, because of Kubo's health, obviously, it would probably be a monthly. It's either going to be a monthly or a quarterly. It's not going to be, there's no way in hell it's going to be weekly. No way in freaking hell it'll be weekly, especially with the state of Weekly Shonen Jump. No. It will be either bi-weekly in Jump Plus, or it'll be monthly in Jump SQ. There's no way in hell, if Kubo comes back with the Bleach manga, it especially with like all the insanity that's been happening. Yeah, there's no way it's gonna be a Weekly Shonen Jump. I refuse to believe it. Yeah, I think it'd be better for Kubo to do it monthly. I think so. It will either be monthly or quarterly, I think, depending on the situation. But yeah, so so looking at chapter 610, yeah, this is what I want for the start of, for sure, to start off Cour 3. The conversation between Hashwald and Uryu. Oh god, talking about the Almighty, and then before going into the opening song, give us that image of the Almighty. Bach regaining the Almighty. I think that would just work so well. I really just don't want, so far Hashwald's narration hasn't been skipped that much, but it's just, I think it'd be better to have something like that here. Like this, especially this part here, and then transition into the Oh God, this part, yes. Yes. Okay. This is what I want. I want from the start of chapter 610 to when Hashawalt says on page 3, the time for our 1,000-year prayer to be answered has come at last. Yes, please do that. And as soon as that happens, transition into Bach with the Almighty, and God, I will be so happy. That's what we need at the beginning of Core 3 is this content from Hashawalt explaining, to Uryu about the Almighty. That's how Core 3 needs to start. That's how it needs to freaking start. If it doesn't start like that, I'll kind of be annoyed. I'm not gonna lie. How do you think the rest of the Squad Zero fight going, Uryu or Hashawalt come back and change all the damage to her? That is true as well. We still need to have that content resolved before it gets into the Almighty stuff. God damn it. Like you could actually kind of have, now that I think about it, you could kind of have it set even beforehand, or as like the rest of or the guard taking care, or the other Storm Rider taking care of Squad Zero. Because Hashawalt in the manga, he senses that the Almighty is coming back. So I have the explanation for the Almighty, and have him open, his eyes, and have that shit at the beginning of Core 3, and then after, of course, because we're gonna get an opening song, obviously. After the opening song, then get back into the Squad Zero content, and then go from there. But oh God, but yeah, by the way, the trailer did confirm that Chair Sama is a coming. Oh, that frame of Chair Sama! I lost my mind. I was so happy to see Chair Sama. And the thing that was even better about this whole thing was I looked at Viz's Twitter when they posted it, and everybody lost their mind over Chair Sama. So it's like, dude, the cult of Chair Sama is coming back. I remember that shit so well when Bleach was being serialized. Everyone was obsessed with Chair Sama. Watch, Chair Sama is going to be trending on Twitter when Aizen comes back. When we see Aizen in that chair. Oh, and that chair better be like even more OP as fuck because of the additional content for Squad Zero and Senjimaru. Like, yeah, Aizen better be OP as fuck in that chair. Oh my God, I'm so excited for it. But yeah, this, from what I understand, is Cour's 3 and 4 are going to have the most filler, obviously. I really would like to see here as well. I think it would be oh yeah, because it would have to be in the first episode, because it shows here at chapter 611, page 3 of chapter 611, it shows that Squad Zero has fallen. So Senjimaru is going down too at the start of Core 3. Oh, she'll be taken down. I kind of would like to see her taken down by I kind of want to see it by Hashawalt more than Uryu. But yeah, then we will be getting into the spirit. Yeah, we're definitely going to get into. Oh, are we going to see the Spirit King die in the first episode of Core 3? Obviously, Ichigo's going to arrive at the Soul Palace, but oh my God, we're going to probably see the Soul King die either in the first or second episode of Core 3. Oh, the other thing too here, and this is like on page 10 of chapter 611, is the stuff with Ichigo calling out Ichibe's name. So remember what was set up in here. in Cour 2 was Ichigo becoming the Soul King's vessel. Hell, even Ichigo mentioned hearing something when he was training at the Soul Palace. So here, Cour 3, we're definitely going to get some filler tying everything in together. In regards to the Soul King, Ichigo Soul King content, it is coming. It's going to be in either the first or second episode. I'm hoping it'll be in the first episode. For Rayo's backstory, I really, what I want for like the Soul King in particular, because remember, we the only thing we know about the Soul King, besides obviously the lore given by Ichibei about being the ruler of life and death and stuff like that, is that he is Bach's father, and I would love to see filler of that father-son filler and stuff like that. I'd like to see all of that. Do I think we'll get it? I'd like to see it. That's why I'm like kind of torn. I'm like, part of me wants to see like this stuff with Bach and the Soul King like at the start of Cour 3, but it's like, no, you can't do that. You need to have the Almighty content first. You gotta have the Almighty content first, especially given the end of this court. Yeah, you need to do it that way. You got to do it that way. After the opening song, though, however, what you could do is you could have some of the flashbacks or whatnot showing Bach with the Soul King. But in all reality, I think the episode that Bach does kill the Soul King on, whether it be the first or the second episode, yeah, oh god, I'm still fucking annoyed that we didn't get this shit in Cour 3. We got to hear about the Soul King being Bach's father in Cour 2. But here's the thing with the because this is on page 16 of chapter 611 of the manga. What I want is I want the backstory and like of Bach and the Soul King. I want all of that, and then have it transition into to Bach killing off the Soul King. I feel like it's going to be in episode 2 more than episode 1. Just something telling me that, because we still, we have the Ichigo content in particular that needs to be expanded upon because of the Soul King vessel situation. Ooh, the original royal families? Yeah. And Ichigo's, ooh, that's true. Because something I heard is that the stuff from the Bleach novels is getting put into the Thousand Year Blood War anime. So if we get the original royal families content first, or like, what do you guys think? Would this be like, if we get that content, do you guys think it would be in the same episode as Bach killing the Soul King? Or do you think it would be like, you want to see it in the first episode? I kind of feel like, part of me is kind of torn on that. I feel like, well, actually, now that I think about it a little bit more, Ichibei, if Ichibei talks about like the royal families and stuff with Ichigo and expands on the content that way, I would not be mad at that. It just needs to fit without making the episode feel disjointed. That's why I'm like, okay, have the Hashawalt stuff at the beginning of the episode, explain to Uryu about what happened with the what's going down with the Almighty. Hell, either that or just like finish off Squad Zero and then get into that content. And then in the episode itself, especially when Ichigo gets there, that's when I kind of would delve into the royal family content. And then the just the royal you'd have it'd be the royal family for one episode, and then it'd be the It would be the Soul King and Bach's relationship in another episode. But there's also, in terms of the original royal families, we still have Uryu and Ichigo's dads meeting up too. And we kind of saw the start of that, when Senjumaru used her Bankai. So we could get the royal family stuff around there too. But I can't, God, it's just with Ichigo. Yeah, the beginning of the Bleach universe and all the backstory and the light novels until Ryo's death. Yeah, I think that I really think that should be in the second episode and have it start off with Bach coming face to face with the Soul King and whatnot, and then after the opening song, go into that content more, like from the royal families up until like Bach's relationship with his father or something. It needs to, or it could be a balance of both or something. Yeah, when Bach is face to face with his father would be the most appropriate. Yeah, that's definitely when the episode when he gets that is when we should get like the backstory. And I feel like that's going to be in episode 2. If it's in episode 1, that means that pacing is really bad. But in episode 2, I could see it a little bit more because this is a very significant point in the manga when when the Soul King is killed, or when he murders the Soul King. And something else that's true is you got to converge it too, because we got to find out why Ichigo is the vessel for the Soul King, and that royal lineage could play a part of it. Because yeah, there's mixed breeds, sure, but which is rare as fuck. But why Ichigo? Why Ukitake? I mean, yeah, it's got to be a dedicated episode for sure. Yeah, it'd have to be. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything else important here. So the Eisen content, I think, is like at chapter 613. Oh, so 613 actually, it says this, and Ichibei says this: I'm so sorry, humans. You all cannot defeat Bach. So you could theoretically put like the Ichigo content, especially in regards to the Spirit King vessel content, like here, and have it lead up to Ichibei telling, saying that you all cannot defeat Bach. You could have it there, actually. And I think it would work. Especially when Ichibei says, for peace is always that way, right, Bach? Oh, you could do so much. You could put the stuff with the royal family here. You could put the stuff, or like, nah, this would be when you get the Ichigo Soul King Vessel content. That's where it would have to be. At least I think, yeah. And there's the then in chapter 613 is where we're starting to see everyone get together. Oh, and then yeah. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Have the royal family, because Ichigo meets Bach at the end of chapter 613. Because it says here, you pathetic insects soon to be crushed upon the gears of fate, bearing you with my own hands is the least I could do. Because even Bach says that infernal high priest, so he knows about Ichigo being the Soul King vessel. So yeah, it'd have to be here when we get the Soul King vessel content for Ichigo. And then for the royal family stuff, yeah, it's got to be before here too. It has to be. It has to be before, especially Bach says upon that infertile high, thinks that infertile high priest, and then says You pathetic insect soon to be crushed upon the gears of fate. Bearing you with my own hands is the least I could do. Yeah, it's got to be there. Have Yuzu or Karen? Yuzu and Karen appeared at the beginning of Cour 2, I believe they did. And obviously in Cour 1 they did. But yeah, I think it was at the beginning of Cour 2 where Yuzu and Karen appeared. Oh yes, let Ichibei's death be as brutal as sit in the manga. Yeah, brutal as it is in the manga. Yes, please. Please make it even more brutal, especially if you have a late night time slot. Like, come the fuck on. But something else that, again, this would fit in the theme of family too. This is where we need like Papa Uryu and Papa Ichigo to come together like around this time too, or at least start moving, because this specific portion is about family. So I'm curious what you guys think in regards to that. And then 614 is with the visor. Yeah, when we get to like the Shinigami heading to the Soul Palace, that's when we will get the adaptation of it's like 610 and 612 or 613. But yeah. Oh yeah, it's 611, 612, and 613. Right? It's in 611 as well. Let me just make sure. I think it is. No, it isn't. It's 612 and 613. Yeah. And 614. There we go. That's got this part here has got to be its own episode. It's probably going to be in I could actually, you know what? Kind of similar to what we saw at the start of episode 25. We might get the Shinigami content in 612 through 614. We might get that sooner, or at the start of 614. We might get that sooner. I really, part of me wants it in the first episode, like maybe after the credits of the first episode, they could do that, but Aizen is probably going to be, yeah, here it is for Karen, by the way. For Karen and Yuzu, they make an appearance in the manga in chapter 615. So we'll probably see them after the Spirit King is killed. Let's see. Where's the oh yeah, and then we get the Ukitake content. And yeah, well, the Ukitake content comes in chapter 616. So I'm guessing we'll have the Ukitake content if it's after the Spirit King's death. I think we'll have the Ukitake content either after the credits or at the start of the episode. But I'm very curious what you guys think in terms of placement for like the Ukitake content. Oh God, just looking at the art again is just. But yeah, for the Ukitake content, I wonder if they're going to start the episode with Ukitake's backstory of how he became a vessel for the Soul King. Ooh, I kind of want that at the beginning of an episode where Ukitake becomes the right arm of the Soul King. Oh God, that needs to be. I really want that backstory and all that at the beginning. The other thing that I think it's going to be in Cour 3, obviously it could be in Cour 4 as well, but something that we do need to see in Cour 3, I think as well, is Nell and Grimjaw starting to make their moves with Urahara. That's got to happen in this Cour as well, I believe. But yeah, here it is. Aizen comes in at chapter 616 on page 9 of chapter 616. So in terms of adapting manga wise, because it's going to be like 609, at least 609 through 616. Oh God, I wouldn't mind 616 being at like it's at the when I say the middle of the Cour, depending on the extra content that's done. Aizen will probably be done. Aizen's content here, especially when Kiyohara comes to visit Aizen, that will be done at the end of an episode after the credits. But then 617 is when Chair-sama comes back. So we know Chair-sama is coming back because we saw it in the trailer. So it means 616 through 617 is going to happen. But, ooh. This right here, though, in chapter 617, this line here, it does not, and this is after Ukitake becomes the right arm of the Soul King. It says it does not appear that this has made Ukitake a complete replacement for the Spirit King. The stability will probably only last as long as his life does. Yeah, right there is when we're going to get some Ichigo content. Because remember, he is the vessel for the Spirit King as well. So we're going to probably get additional content there. In regards to Ichigo and the Soul King. But oh, my kitty's snoring like a little bubba. You're so cute, kitty. This is, dude, next Cour is going to be amazing. Oh, I'm very curious what you guys think about this Cour. Well, Cour 2, obviously. Cour 2, there, as I said, there were some fights I wanted to see extended. Like the like I wanted to, as I said earlier, the Nanana versus Renji. I wanted to see a little bit more with the Basby Renji fight before the Ashwallen came and took his power away. Obviously, I'm pissed off that Robert's content got skipped. But in terms of like the revisions so far, I think they've been good. We had all that content from the foreshadowing of Kenpachi's Bankai. That was kind of skipped. Yeah, now that the pacing is going to slow down, imagine things are going to get better. Seriously, I hope this pacing slows, because this part, Cour 3 is probably going to be one of the most important, obviously, one of the most important cores in the entirety of Thousand Year Blood War. No question, because that's where all the lore is going to be. This is good. I've heard from James Hansen. Well, we've seen James Hansen tweet about it. That and I've seen other rumors too. That the third and fourth cores are going to be very, very filler heavy, and I'm fine with that because we need the filler. This is what we came here for, is the filler. I'm just hoping that that the comedy that's in the manga does not get cut this time. Or if you're gonna do that, like have it do. If they're gonna do something like that, then have like some of the comedic scenes like after the episode with Khan too. Hell, even after the additional scenes, like have some stuff with Khan up in there to show like some of the comedic content that was skipped. I'm just really the main thing I'm annoyed about is you still had the opening and ending songs here. There should have not been any. We didn't have the ending song in the finale of the first core. No, because it was part of it. Seriously, they need to they need to start thinking about taking out the first the opening and ending songs for a lot more of core 3 and core 4, since there is going to be a lot more filler, and you got to still incorporate the manga canon into it. You know what, the OP, I love the opening sequence for the opening for core 2 more than core 1. I actually like the stuff that we had up in there. I thought that was very clever. But the ending song was okay. But man, this next core band, they really got to step it the fuck up and make it. This comes from someone that wants more comedy, but I really want it to be like, I want it to just give that angst. You know what I mean? Because we have Bach rebelling against his father and all that. Yeah, they really got to step up the fuck up for core 3 and core 4. Because like the first core, it had that horrible pink. I fucking hated that pink. The symbolism that was going on for the opening was great, but that fucking pink ruined it. Oh my God, I hated that pink so much. This core, I thought it was just really fun. And I actually kind of like the song for the opening, but I really wish they would have changed up the soundtrack a little bit more. Yeah, OG Bleach, well, let's be real, OG Bleach is a different beast. It was a very different beast. It's crazy how a lot of the, I know it's good, it's probably a hot take, but a lot of the older anime, because I've been watching, some older anime on Pluto TV, it looks so much better than a lot of the new anime does. It's so weird, and it's so well. It kind of shows you how much of what's the word I'm looking for? Corporatized. There we go. How corporatized the anime industry is becoming. It's really sad. But man, yeah, I'm annoyed about my boy Uetsu not getting like his gangsta track. He needed like, I'm thinking of Tupac because of the killer, but yeah. Oh, in regards to why anime looks a lot more looks a little bit cleaner, it doesn't have that oomph to it anymore. It has a lot to do with it being, more corporate. But it's also cheaper to animate that way, unfortunately. I will say this though, some of the color grading and the shading for Orange just knows how to do it, like with CGI. There's no other studio that's doing it when it comes to CGI anime like Orange, because they know how to perfectly incorporate like 2D and CG, do like a CGI with some 2D elements in there to give it that extra texture. Go watch Hoseki no Kuni. You will see what I'm talking about. Trigun Stampede does an okay job at it. It's just not as good as Hoseki no Kuni. Oh, kitty, why are you snoring? You snoring like a bubba. Snoring like a bubba. I just like for Squad Zero, I really was kind of hoping they were gonna get their own like own tracks and whatnot, and they didn't, and that really frustrated me. Sometimes I will say this though. Sometimes like the orchestral, the ODST or not, the OST worked. Like when with the start of Bach versus Ichibe, where it was quiet, and then when it got to the action, that's when the music kicked in. Or no, that was the Squad Zero fight when that happened. With Bach and Ichibe, it was just like this beautiful escalation in the soundtrack where you had some of the strings, and then as it kept progressing, it became more grander and more spectacular. And I thought that's the kind of shit I want. I want more of that in anime. Yeah, the OST is very hit or miss. There's sometimes where it's just like it works and it's great, and then there's other times where it's like, no, why is this here? Like I said, Uetsu, the best example of this. Uetsu should have. I pictured when I read this the Uetsu content the first time, just in general, actually. I was like thinking, okay, the anime is gonna give him like some kick ass, like classic '90s rap, um, like that. Oh gosh, like give me some like old school like Biggie Smalls or some Tupac or um, just give us something that is very hip hop. Or give me Japanese. That's what I said earlier. Give me Japanese rap and hip hop for Uetsu. Yeah, Japanese hip hop would be way more appropriate than Western hip hop. Yeah, but you know what I mean. I want that nice like I mean, how the fuck did Pepe get a better OST than Uetsu? Like it made no sense to me. But Aizen, oh, especially when Chair Sama shows up, that soundtrack better slap. I better get that sinisterness. And also like still have like the choir come through as well, when especially you start here. This is what I want. You start off with the basses, the tuba, the trombone, the bassoon, the bass clarinets, the bass, and you can include some cello up in there too. But you start off with the lower tones, and then the bass tones. Then as it gets closer to Chair Sama, as the camera gets closer to Chair Sama, you add more of the mid pitch, the alto pitches, like a third clarinet, some of the like oboe, no, not oboe, viola. There we go. Viola is the one I was thinking of. Add like the viola, add some French horn up in there, and then when we get to Chair Sama itself, that's when you put in the choir. Yeah. And obviously, throughout this entire sequence, it's got to have like a timpani going on. Oh my god, I'm just picturing in my head how badass it would be. But dude, I there's so much you could do with freaking Bach's soundtrack, man. And same with Aizen. Aizen better get a kick-ass soundtrack, especially Chair Sama deserves its own godly track. Yeah, yeah, we need more like melodies to feel the emotion. We need like that. Also, we do need the like the higher pitched instrument. We need like the treble clefs to come in like at the right moment, like just like the violins and like the clarinets, the flutes, the oboes, and whatnot, and the trumpet to an extent too. Trumpet could be used a little bit more, especially when we get to Chair Sama, because it's Chair Sama. But they're not utilizing the orchestra. They're not utilizing it enough, and it's very frustrating. there's certain times where I'm like, okay, you can have rock going on up in this OST and it works. And that would be like with Ichigo's content. Ichigo is very rock. Give us that give us rock for that. But for something like for Hoshwell, for example, nah. This is not Hoshwell. Hoshwell is not that, and uh neither is Uryu. Squad Zero, like the rest of the Squad Zero content, maybe I can maybe understand, but like I'm just gonna remain salty about Uetsu. But I will say that outside of Biz being a bunch of dumbasses, the Giselle content was great, and also there was some. I'm still pissed off that that the boner line was censored in the Japanese broadcast. It's like, what the fuck? Why are you censoring that, Japan? That sucks. You can have the sperm joke, but no boner joke. But yeah, the Giselle content, for the most part, I was happy with. I think they could have, especially in this final episode, the final episodes with Giselle, they could have taken it even further. Oh, I would have loved it to go further. So the release date, I hope is I don't want it to be July. I want it to be October of 2024. Gives them plenty of time to work on their animation. And obviously the storyboarding too, because we're getting filler up in here. But I want them to have a year. They need a year to do this, especially if it's gonna be like what I'm picturing in my head. Oh, yeah, especially with Aizen's return. Whoa, like it's 618. Oh God, that is gonna be so badass, man. Oh, I can't wait for Aizen to come back. And then Cherisama. Because Cherisama is in the trailer. We're definitely, and obviously we should know by now we're getting this because of Aizen. But yeah, it's in, for those of you that are wondering where it is, it's in chapter 618 of the manga. It's on specifically page 3, where we get our first appearance of Cherisama. I remember I lost my fucking mind when I saw Cherisama. When Aizen like utilized his power with Cherisama. That was amazing. Let's be real, the Aizen content, that needs to be at the start of an episode in Cour 3. It has to be. If it's not, I will be very disappointed. But then there's also this here too. Again, relation to Ichigo being the Soul King vessel. It actually makes me wonder if the Soul King vessel content for Ichigo is going to be sprinkled throughout the Cour, or at least the first few episodes of the Cour. Would I mind that? Depends on how it's executed, but it would be very reminiscent of what we saw at the end of what was it? The first few episodes of Cour 2. All right, bye. Bye, Andre. But let's see. When do we get the other stuff here? Hold on, let me make sure I'm good with the amount of chapters that are here. So Bleach has a total of 686 chapters. We're definitely going to be getting at least from chapter 609 to 618 for sure. Hands down. And there's going to be filler up in there in between. A lot of filler in between. Do I think we'll get any more than that? I hope so. Oh yeah, this right here. This is why I'm saying we're gonna get the Soul King stuff spread out throughout the Cour, because in page 3 of chapter 619, Bach says this to Ichigo. With us, let me make sure I'm reading. here. Ooh, now make that like page 2 right here. Like your will is intertwined with mine. What I'm saying is that all this time you've been fighting for me. The battles you fought when you awakened as a Shinigami served to augment your power. That augmented power served the purpose of defeating Aizen Sosuke, and then you regained the power you had lost defeating Aizen Sosuke, in order to dispatch the Spirit King before my very eyes. And none of it's nonsense. Without a single thought of my own, my eyes have continually shown me the image of you acting on my behalf. Regardless of what you think, all of your actions have been arranged for my benefit, and it is all because the same blood courses through our veins. This is when we will get more of the. This is when like the spirit, or not the spirit, the Soul God's vessel content for Ichigo. That's when it's going to really hit its climax and really go into it, is around this part. This gotta be it. And then of course there's that reveal. Can you not even use the word kill towards the man who murdered your mother? Such is your weakness. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of good stuff this core. Oh god. But yeah, I think the Spirit King stuff is going to be sprinkled throughout the first part of the core. And then when it gets to that part with Ichigo and Bach, that's when it will really truly come to fruition. I'm curious what you guys think in regards to that. To me, that would make the most sense. And of course, before I forget, if you do love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my adorable little passed out kitty over here, and this operation alive and kicking, feel free to either hit up the super chat, hit up, which we do have, hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Those are in the description box below. I should have mentioned that earlier. But in all seriousness, I'm really stoked for what we're going to be getting in Core 3 based on what we're seeing here. And again, remember, we have 673 chapters left to spread out through a worth of content, to spread, and then on top of filler, to spread out through 13 or spread out across like 26 more episodes. Will they be able to do it without rushing it? I kind of wish they'd make the episodes an hour long instead, to be honest. It would make more, it'd be nice. Right, Kitty? Right, Keys? Okay, you want to say hi to the people? Hi, Kitty. Say hi to the people, Kitty. Bless you. Ow. Here's the kitty. Here's the Shinigami kitty. Here he is. Oh, he's a little bubbas. He's a little puppa kitty. He's a puppa kitty. I know more people like the cat than they do me. See, he's just a cute little bubbas. Little bubbas. Maybe someday we'll get you in Shinigami gear, kitty. We're too poor for that right now. Is there anything else I want to mention here before I forget? Let's see. I'll read this up just a little bit more. So let me give my thoughts about my overall thoughts about Core 2. Core 2, I think overall, minus the things that were skipped, including the comedy, and yes, Khan kind of made up for it, but this shouldn't be the case. Oh, we shouldn't have to do this. But compared to Core 1, though, oh, hands down, the writing was way better here than it was for Core 1. Core 1 really pissed me off. And same with the art and animation. I think it was definitely a step up, despite, you know, the circumstances. Right, Kitty. Right, Kitty. You watched it with me, Kitty, so you know. Oh, fucking eyeball these. Anyways, also, oh, I should mention this too, because the Bleach production team got really pissy. Please, for the love of God, if you have any problems with Bleach, please just tweet the main Bleach animation account. Do not tag the staff. No, do not. You could, you have the hashtags for Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, and all that. You can always use that to express your frustrations, but don't harass the staff no more, because the staff were getting very annoyed by they, as much as they loved, you know, our appreciation for them, they kind of got a little annoyed too at certain points. It's like, oh, I feel bad. Right, Kitty. No, Kitty don't feel bad about anything because he's a cat. But in terms of, oh, I should mention this. In terms of anime that I'm covering, well, I like to cover. I don't know how things are right now. It's not looking good. But in terms of anime that I am probably going to cover, especially once I can get access to the episode, is the new season of Captain Tsubasa. I'm going to be definitely covering that. Will I be covering like Shangri-La Frontier or the other, or like Ranka Monohashi? If there's donations, I might. And also, again, it also depends on if I'm even around anymore. It's really, when I say it's not looking good, it's not looking good for me and the kitty. Oh, Kitty, you'll get food in a minute. Just chill. Kitty, stop it. You are a dumb kitty sometimes, I swear. But anyways, let me know your thoughts about this Cour, what you thought of this Cour, especially compared to the first Cour, what you're looking forward to in Cour 3. And how many chapters do you think are going to get adapted, as well as the filler in Cour 3? I know for sure it's definitely going to be like 609 through 600 and probably 20 at least. Well, there's more. Oh, yeah. Oh, are we going to get the Ichigo versus Uryu content? We might. We might get a little bit of an extended version of it. But yeah, Ukitake is probably going to die near the end of this Cour. Or obviously during this Cour. Kitty, knock it off. Where's the other thing I was thinking of for here it is. The Aizen content. Yeah, so with the Aizen content and Shirosawa content, yeah, we're gonna get at least up to chapter 622 for sure. Do I think we'll get like 623? Let me check 623. Yeah, we're definitely getting. Oh, we are definitely getting 623, unless they're going to save the Spirit Palace. Aizen shooting down the Spirit Palace for Cour 4, which I honestly doubt. Yeah, we're definitely going to get chapter 623. Oh God, I hope that's going to be the case. Yeah, and I think we're going to get like 624 as well. Do I think? Oh, okay. So Grimjaw, I just double checked. So Grimjaw comes at the end of chapter 624, I believe, right? Yeah, at the end of 624. So do you guys think we're gonna get Grimjaw? Kitty, knock it off. We gotta get Grimjaw in this Cour. If this Cour ends with Grimjaw showing up, I would not be mad. But yeah, Grimjaw, he's got to show up this next Cour. Oh my God. Yeah, this is probably going to be at least from chapter 609 to 600. And, oh, and yeah, we got Nell here too, to 625 at least. Maybe a little bit. Ooh, if we get to like chapter 630 here. Do you guys think we're going to get to chapter 630? That's what it seems like to me, is we're going to go from like chapter 609-ish or 609, 610-ish. I know we've basically adapted all of chapter 609, but I mean, like, I'm talking about that panel with the Almighty, I think is going to be in the third Cour. But I think it's going to be 610 through at least 626, maybe even up to 630 at least. At least, because remember, this manga has 600. So knock it off. Has a little over 670 chapters. But anyways, if there's, let me double check and see if I got anything else here, or I let off. No. Nope. I don't have anything on Cash App. I don't think I have anything on PayPal either. So I hope I'm not doing this for nothing. Because I really like doing live streams like this, but well, obviously for Bleach it's done, but if you guys want me to do more live streams, please hit, of course, hit our like and share the stream out and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. And of course, you know, if you want to help keep supporting the channel, you can donate to well, obviously there's actually for YouTube, if you're watching after the stream is up, you could post a tip in on YouTube, or you could donate via Cash App or PayPal or Patreon. That's in the description box below. Also, make sure you guys are following me on Twitter and my Discord, especially. Those two I'm definitely very active in. Twitch I might get back into as well. I'm not sure. Hopefully, if the people that were channel brigading me are gone, then yeah, I can get back into Twitch. But I got to make sure before I even do that, I got to make sure that, you know, everything is all set here, because I do have games that I'd like to play that I got specifically to stream, but just my financial situation is killing me. This freaking stubborn ass cat is killing me too. You're killing me, Smalls. You realize that? But anyways, let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and hopefully we are still around to cover more anime, because right now it's really not looking good for me and the kitty. Right, Zeno? It's not looking good for us. No, it's not. God damn it, it's not. But anyways, I'm gonna go snuggle with the with my therapy kitty after I give him some dinner. But until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.